going to learn C language. So we'll start with the introduction to C language. Now what is C? C is a programming language developed at AT&T's Bell Laboratories, USA, designed by Dennis Ritchie. Now, why C is so popular? C is reliable, simple, and easy to use. Learning C++ or Java is directly complicated without learning the basic language elements which is provided by C. Major parts of popular operating systems like Windows, Unix, Linux is still written in C because even today when it comes to performance means speed of execution. Nothing beats C. Common consumer devices like microwave oven, washing machines, and digital cameras use microprocessors, operating systems, and a program to provide smartness to these devices, which is provided by C language. Due to its fast execution, C is used for making several professional 3D computer games also. Now, let us start learning C. Before that, we should understand what is a language. Language is a medium of communication between two people or two entities. If I want to communicate with some other person, I should know the language he speaks. If he knows French and I know English, I cannot communicate with that person. Similarly, for the computer, if I want to communicate with the computer, I should know the language computer understands. See the similarities between learning English language and learning C language. In English language, the first thing we learn are the alphabets. Example, A, B, C, D. Now these alphabets are combined to form words. Example, apple. Now these words are combined to form sentences. And these sentences are combined to form paragraphs. Now let us see for C language. In C language, we learn alphabets, numbers, and special symbols, as you can see in this small picture. Now, these alphabets, numbers, and special symbols are combined to form constants, variables, and keywords. Now, these constants, variables, and keywords are combined to form an instruction. And many instructions are combined to form a program. Here in this picture, it is clear the steps involved in learning English language and steps in learning C language. Alphabets makes words, words make sentences, and sentences makes paragraphs. Similarly, alphabet, digits, and special symbols, they make constants, variables, and keywords. They combine to form instructions, and instructions are combined to form programs. Now, let us learn about constants, variables, and keywords. Before that, we know that alphabets are from A to Z in capital and A to Z in small. Digits are from 0 to 9, and these are some special symbols which are used in C language. Now, when the alphabets, numbers, and special symbols are properly combined, they form constants, variables, and keywords.
We have two houses, X and Y. In the first year, in X, we have 3 people living. In Y, we have 2 people living. After the end of first year, one person moves from X to Y. So, in the second year, we have 2 people in X and 3 people in Y. After the end of second year, one more member moves from X to Y. So, in the third year, we have 1 member in X and 4 member in Y. So we can see that X is having a value of 3 in the first year, 2 in the second year, and 1 in the third year. Similarly, for Y, we have 2 in the first year, 3 in the second year, and 4 in the third year. So as you can see that X is having different values at different times. So X can have a value of 3 also, X can have a value of 2 also, and X can have a value of 1 also. Similarly for Y, Y can have a value of 2 also, 3 also, and 4 also. So at different times, X and Y can have different values. So X and Y are known as variables because the value of X and Y can change. What about 3, 2, 1? These are some values which cannot change. 1 will always remain 1, 2 will always remain 2, 3 will always remain 3. So these kind of values are known as constants.
Now, first we are going to see the types of constants. C constants are of two types, primary constants and the secondary constants. Primary constant, as you can see, are integer constants, real constant and character constants. And secondary constants are array, pointer, structure, union, enum, etc. Now we will see first primary constants, and secondary constants we will be seeing in the later parts of the videos. Now the primary constants. In primary constants, the first one is integer constants. As the name suggests, integer constants are the numbers which are whole. They range from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now, there are some rules of constructing the integer constants. We will see an example. As you can see, these are the integer constants, means minus 432, 834. They are the complete number. They don't have any decimal part. So such kind of numbers are known as integer numbers. These are integer constants. But on the other hand, if we see minus 43.2, 83.40, we are having a decimal part. So these are not integer constants. Now, second primary constants are the real constants. As the name suggests, real numbers are the one which can have the decimal part also. So these are the rules for constructing real constants. And for example, we can see here we can see this minus 43.2 or 83.40. They have two parts. One is the integer part and one is the decimal part. So such numbers are known as the real constants. Next, we will move to character constants. As you can see that the character constant is a single alphabet, but always we have to put the alphabet in the inverted commas, and that also not double inverted, single inverted commas. For example, as you can see, A is inside a single inverted commas, and here also the A is in single inverted comma. But what is the difference? The difference is the inverted commas should point always to the left. As you can see, this is the correct form. Here, one is pointing towards left and one is pointing towards right. So this is a wrong interpretation of a character constant. And maximum length of the character constant can be only one character inside a single inverted comma, pointing towards the left always.
In the case of real constants, when a number is very large or very small, we use the exponential form. What does it do? Let's take a big number, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now this is a very big number. We can convert this number into an exponential form. This number can be written as 3.2 multiplied by 10 to the power. How many digits we have after the decimal? 6 digits. So 10 to the power 6. Now this number can be further written in another form, which is known as 3.2. We write e and plus 6. This is known as the exponential form. Now, if the number is small, let's say 0.00032. Now this number can be written in this form, 3.2 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4. Then this number can be written as 3.2 e and minus 4. This is known as the exponential form, and this is used when the numbers are very big or the numbers are very small. In both these cases, the number before e, we can say the number before e is known as the mantissa, and the number after e is known as the exponent. Now we are going to see types of C variables. We know that variables are those entities whose values changes from time to time. Okay, so we say that values changes from time to time. Now we will see, we also know that computer has a memory for storing data. Okay, now let us assume a memory of a computer in the form of a square. This is a memory of a computer, which we have assumed. Now it has got different locations. Location this, all, there are total of 9 locations. Now if I give you a data, let's say 3, and you want to store this data in any of the location, you can do it, but the computer will be confused that this data has been stored in which location. So what we do, we name each location as, let's say, X, Y, Z, U, V, W, P, Q, R. Now each location has been assigned a name. Now if I want to store 3, let's say X is equal to 3. Now I know, and the computer also knows, that the constant 3 is stored at a location X. So we also know that what is X? X is a variable and 3 is a constant. So another definition of a variable can be that variable is a name given to location in memory. Now we have seen that X is equal to 3 means variable is storing a constant in it. And we know that constant is of 3 types. One is the integer constant, second is the real constant, and the third is a character constant. So constants are stored, we can say that constant is stored in a variable. Here are some rules for constructing the variable names. A variable name is any combination of alphabets, digits, or underscores. The first character in the variable name must be an alphabet or underscore. No commas or blanks are allowed within a variable name, and no special symbol other than an underscore can be used in a variable name. For example, let's say we have calculated the simple interest. And you want to store the value of the simple interest in a memory location. So we can name the variable as SI underscore INT, means simple interest. This can be the name of the variable. Now if you have calculated the compound interest, and you want to store this value of compound interest in any memory location, so you can name the variable as CO underscore INT. So this way you can name or construct the variables. After constructing a variable to store the constant, we have to define its type, because constant we have seen are of three types. One is integer, second one is real, and the third one is character. So when you are making a name of the variable, let's say si underscore int, means simple interest. So before the name of the variable, you have to specify its type. If you are storing any integer value in this, storing any integer value, so we have to specify before the name of the variable as int. It means si underscore int simple interest value will be storing only the integer value. If you are storing a real value, so you have to define float. It means now in simple interest you can store the real constant value. Means with decimal places. And if you want to store anything which comprises of the characters, so you have to specify char for the character, and then you have to specify the name of the, let's say if I am giving a name, so now in name variable character will be stored.
Now we will see the keywords. Keywords is a reserved word in C library and used to perform an internal operation. The working and meaning of these keywords are already known to the compiler. Now, the keywords cannot be used as variables because if we do so, we are trying to assign a new meaning to the keyword which is already set in the C compiler. And this is not allowed by the computer. We have set 32 keywords available in C. These are those set keywords. We avoid applying these names to the variables. Now let us write our first program in C. It will give you a basic idea about how program is written in C language. We will start with a very basic program, which is adding two numbers. This is the program for adding two numbers. Now we are going to see each line of the program one by one. The first line is a comment about the program, and it should always be enclosed within the two symbols, this one, as you can see. Now we are providing the comment because it helps us to know what is the program is for and what is its main motive. Then the next one is main. Main is a function. It is a collective name given to a set of statements. This name has to be main with a bracket. It cannot be anything else. Next, all the statements that belongs to main function are enclosed within a pair of braces, as you can see. This is the starting of the program and this is the end of the program. Next, any variable used in the program must be declared before using it. Here we have used A, B, C, three variables. So we have to declare those variables and we have declared it with the int command. Int is a keyword. So int a comma b comma c tells us that the value stored in a, b, c will always be an integer value. So we have stored a value of 5 in a and we have stored a value of 10 in b. Next, remember that statements always ends with a semicolon. The end of the statement, the semicolon tells us that the statement is over. Now After the formula has been applied, A plus B will give you 15 and it will be stored in C. Okay, now that answer 15 has to be displayed. For that, we have a command of printf. This is the basic structure of a printf command. Okay, now percentage D means that the value stored in C is an integer value and that value will be printed in place of percentage %d. There is another form also for the printf statement. You can add a statement like the sum of two number is equal to percentage %d. Percentage %d basically means the value of C, whatever is the value of C will be printed in place of percentage %d. This is very important. Now, as you can see, the output will be 15 if nothing is written inside the printf command, or if this is the statement, then the sum of two number is equal to 15. You can see that percentage %f is used for real values whenever there is a decimal numbers. So for percentage %d is used for the integer and percentage %c is used for the character. In the previous program of addition, we have specified the value of A and B inside the program. Now, if we want to get an input from the user itself, so different users can input different values. So for that, to receive an input, we are going to change the program little bit. We add a statement known as scanf. Scanf is used for getting the input from the users. So the changes are, in place of A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 10 in the previous one, what we have done, we have written a printf statement. Here you can see, and we have asked the user to enter the values of A and B. Then let's see the output of the program. The output will be, first the printf command will be executed. So at the screen you will get a statement, enter the values of A and B. Then you have to enter the values of A and B. First you put the value of A. As per the scanf statement, as you can see, the value of A will be stored in percentage %d. Then next statement is entering the value of B. Now B will be also stored in a variable B. Now next it will compute with the help of formula the addition of two numbers, and it will give you the output again. The sum of two numbers is equal to 30. So like this, the user can input different values of A and B and can get the addition of those two numbers easily. Now let us check our program by running it in a compiler. This is the program which we have written. Now we will run this program to check what is the answer. As you can see, the answer it is giving, the sum of two numbers is equal to 15. Now let us receive the input from the user. So we have done the required changes, putting a scanf command for receiving the input from the user. We will run this program and let's see what happens. Here you can see it is asking enter the values of A and B. So I will put 10, enter, 20, enter. Then you will see the sum of two numbers is equal to 30. So like this, we can make a C programs.